I'm Jessica Patterson of Spinning Shadows Fiber Arts, and welcome to another episode of What Is. Today we'll be covering combing and using a hackle. The wonderful owner of Little Texas Fiber Arts, Little Texas Yarns, I need more coffee, has done a nice long presentation for us showing how to make blended roving with a hackle, and also how to take locks and comb them. I think she's done an excellent job. And so without further ado, here's Ashley of Little Texas Yarns.
This is Ashley from Little Texas Yarns, and I am thrilled to be working with Jessica from Spinning Shadows Fiber Arts on her segment, What Is? And today I'm going to be showing you how to use combs, and we're going to comb out some locks. And I'm also going to be showing how to use a hackle. Now, I've got two different fibers here. This is our Romney Corriedale blend, and it's in a beautiful teal color. And this is our Superfine Merino, and it's in this lovely lavender color. So these two colors are going to be combined and look fantastic. Okay, so this is my hackle, and I chose this one specifically. I got it from the Woolery. What made my decision so much easier was this cover for the tines, and the reason that's so important is because these tines are extremely sharp, and I could see myself accidentally putting my hand on them, or clothes getting caught, you know, just things like that. You want to prevent accidents before they happen. So a lot of hackles don't actually come with a top like this, but this one I found at the Woolery, and that just made my decision so much easier. And this is all maple wood, and it also comes with really nice and good C-clamps. I mean, you can get those at the hardware store, but this came with them, so that made it a lot easier and one less place to run around. But what I'm gonna do is show how to use the hackle. So I'm going to get this fiber out here, and what you do is just kind of, you take your fiber, and it's kind of, I like to fluff it up. You don't have to, but I like to. So this is our Romney Corriedale, and then you just kind of catch it all the times. You don't want to do a whole bunch because it'll get stuck on there, so you just want to kind of barely catch the ends there. It just makes it, I don't know, easier to come off. Because I mean, when I first started using it, I put a ton on it once, and I was like, oh, let's just go like this and get a whole bunch in one place, and don't do that, because you will regret it, and you will need the strength of like the Hulk or something to get that off your hackle, and you'll never want to use a hackle again if you do that, because you're like, it's not worth it, and I hate it, I hate using it. And it's really, doing it this way makes it much more enjoyable. I mean, you can see kind of the fiber starting to come in there now, and it just kind of looks wispy, kind of relaxing, and honestly I could do this all day. But you can do this with all types of fibers, like even bamboo. You can blend different fibers. You can take, trying to think, like, you could even do this with silk. I know a lot of people are afraid with drum carders, like, is it gonna ruin my fibers? And drum carders are awesome, don't get me wrong. I love drum carders. They're fantastic, but I don't know, just something about using a hackle and kind of like just doing it. It's like, if I guess if each tool has their own purpose. So don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking drum carders whatsoever. It's just, I like my Hackle for like blending. You get a really nice roving, and drum carders are great at doing bats and things like that. But if you're looking for more of a roving kind of and blending colors and like only a few colors, or trying to think what else, like different fibers, and you want like a more even, I would definitely recommend a Hackle. Alright, now I'm getting my merino unbound here, and we're just going to fluff up the fiber. Oh, look at that. It's so soft and fluffy. So we're just going to kind of, again, just catch the ends of it and just let it kind of pull itself off. It's really not hard. And I do so much fiber like this because I've actually gotten too close to be too careful of how much I was getting on, because I went from one extreme to the other, and you don't want to do that either because you will catch your fingers. So don't do that. But just kind of hold it here like this, and just the tips of the fiber, just let it go, and the fiber will just come off. Like, you don't have to do any certain amount, but this gives you more control about color placement too, or how much of one color and things like that. So, which I think those are looking fabulous together. Which I might need a little bit more for the camera to be able to pick it up, but oh, it's looking gorgeous. I'm going to go over on this side a little bit. But yes, you can, and this is a double tine Hackle. You can get single, and the reason I got double is because I like to use my combs with it too. So this will help comb fiber too. So if you have locks or you process fiber with your combs, you can use your Hackle with it. I mean, I can even show that in a minute after we take this off. But after you clean your fiber, if you buy it raw and you clean it up and everything, you can actually comb out your fiber this way. And the combs were my very first fiber tool. The reason being is because I did a ton of research, because I wanted to start from the beginning, find out how wool was processed, things like that. And I found out that carders don't really get the vegetable matter, or VM, out of the fiber. So, and that's like things like hay and grass, and you know, where sheep lay. So even after washing it, there's still some stuff in there. You're not going to get it out. So there's two ways to get that out of your fiber, and that is either picking it out one by one or combing it out. So I was like, well, I don't want to pick it out one by one. So I got combs, and then I was like, oh, Hackle, that will make it even better. So this was my next tool, and I absolutely love them. But I'm going to add some more teal. And I mean, you can play with as many colors as you want. I was just trying to do just a couple to keep it from being too complicated. But just so you can kind of see the difference. But it's just really, 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 really pretty. Almost like fairy colors. But about, I don't think I finished my thought about the double tine, but the double tine, you can get it, I think, one single, and a single tine is just the single row. So, and there's two rows here, but you can get, I think, 3 and 4 rows too. So you have plenty of options for hackles and combs. I mean, there's tons of things available. But this is very relaxing. kind of let the fiber pull off as it will. And now I have to go get my diz because I did not bring it. Oh, so I'm sorry about that. I will be right back and with my diz so I can show you how to diz that fiber off of your hackle to get a kind of beautiful rope or roving to spin with. Okay, I am back with my diz. This is a diz. I mean, there's several different styles out there and things like that. But I got this one from Jessica at Spinning Shadows Fiber Arts, which I just absolutely love these fall colors. They're just gorgeous. And you can buy them at several different places. I mean, I know the Woolery has some, even Brother Drum Carter has some. I mean, you can buy these all over the place. And you don't necessarily have to buy one like that either. There have been people, like when I first started out, I didn't see the use for diz, and I didn't really want to spend the money on yet something else if I wasn't going to use it. I didn't know how much you would need a diz, like how much easier it makes it. And then once I saw the prices of some of the divs, I was kind of cheap when I first started out. I mean, a lot of fiber artists are, because you're not sure if you're going to need it or really like it. It's just something I really need kind of thing. But I saw someone use a like cake decorating tip. So I've used a cake decorating tip before, and they work nice too. So I mean, no matter your budget, I mean, you can just be kind of creative and come up with different ways you can use a diz if you want to. I mean, you don't even have to use a diz either. You can hand pull it. Like, you can take this and just like take this and just kind of hand pull it off of the hackle. But the diz just kind of helps make sure to keep everything uniform and together. If you are going to use a diz, I would highly suggest, if it doesn't come with some type of hook to get the fiber through a hole, that you use a crochet hook. Now, this is a really small crochet hook, because I crochet too, so I have like tons of hooks everywhere. But this is a really small lace hook, and so it came in one of the sets. I really don't use lace too much. I really love doing it. I just don't do it too often. But this is like a 1 millimeter. I mean, you can get a little bit bigger too. Like, let me see. We've got a couple other ones here. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go that small, because I know how hard that can be to hold in your hands, especially if you have arthritis or carpal tunnel, or just have some problems with your hands. Those smaller hooks can be really hard to hold. But there's also, you can go a little bit bigger. Just make sure it fits through the hole easily, and then you should be good. So, but this one is a 2.7 millimeter, so it just, whichever size hole, you can use a big crochet hook for that one, obviously, but you can get like a smaller one for that one, and this one you're gonna have to use something like lace hook or something. But I have seen dizes that come with hooks, so it's just really up to you. But all you do is kind of take the end of the fiber there, and I kind of pull it out some so I can get it into the diz. Come on. There we go. And then you've got it in the hole. So, and then you just kind of pull and push, and then when it stops and won't move anymore, you just kind of pull a little bit. And I like using the smallest hole, because then I don't have to draft as much. So you still have to draft some, but not as much. as you would normally have to while spinning. So, ooh, I got like a nice little purple stripe down it. I don't know if you can see that. That looks pretty. But yeah, you just keep doing that all the way across the diz, or the hackle. Oops, sometimes it comes apart, it's okay. And that is basically how you use a hackle. You just keep going back and forth, getting off as much as you can. And it just keeps catching on the fibers. You just keep pulling out a little bit and pushing forward. So you kind of want to move from one side to the other like that. And I usually keep a little basket down on the floor for when I'm using my hackle, because that way the fiber just, I don't know, I don't like it touching the floor just because you never know. Like there could be something on the floor and then I don't want to pick something out of my fiber. So I always keep like a nice little bowl or like something that the fiber's not going to catch onto, like a plastic, if you get like a plastic container or something. I mean, you can use something that you already have. You don't have to rush out and buy anything specific. It just, and see, it's starting to get a little thinner here. And try to mix these two together so they catch. And I don't think they're gonna, and that's okay. Or are they? I don't know. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that usually never happens. Usually when it gets that low, it just kind of comes off and I have to go back and get the rest off. But yeah. That's cool. I'm happy with it. And earlier, kind of when I was talking about, you just want to let the tips kind of catch these points and not do a whole lot of fiber at once. That's kind of why, because that way it doesn't make it as hard drafting and pulling it off. Now, I know you see some fiber left there. That's okay. There's no such thing as waste fiber. I mean, I put, like when I skirt a fleece, I put the stuff that you can't really use. I just put that in my garden and my plants love it. But stuff like this I take off, and I mean, since I don't usually have a whole lot, I just make wool dryer balls for us at home, and I mean, it saves tons. So, but yeah, I'll just put this in like pantyhose, getting it ready for wool dryer balls, and yeah, so it's not too much. So, but that's the end of our roving there. So I'm just kind of winding that. Look at that purple. Oh my gosh, with that teal is gorgeous. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. I'm hoping this comes through, you can see it. But that is our roving right there. We blended ourselves. So I'm going to put this back on before I forget. And so now I'm going to go grab my combs and show you how to comb. Okay, I am back with my wool combs, and I'm going to show how to comb some of these beautiful Lincoln locks here. and I'm trying to pick out some that has some VM or vegetable matter, because it'll be that much easier to show what combs are best at. And please excuse my tripod here, just a little bit easier to get from above than anything else. So about combs, first, again, like with the Hackle, you want to start off with safety, because these are extremely sharp, and some do come with like covers, some do not. Mine didn't, and so that's okay. Just be very careful how you store them, because they can get you pretty good. So again, I would just take precautions. Like these I put in their own storage space, so there's no way I can accidentally just reach my hand down and accidentally get like I guess stung by one of them or something. But they hurt pretty bad, and I got myself the first time using them, so just be careful with them. And for locks, you want to find the cut end here. I'm trying to find the cut end, because that is the end you want to put on first for, let's see, some of these are, sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself for a second. Where is, there you are. The cut end, you can always tell it feels a little different than other parts of the lock. Just the cut end is the end that's closest to the sheep, where the shearers cut it off and everything. So it feels a little bit different. It's a little bit thicker to me. It feels a little bit stronger, that area. Definitely not quite as soft. So, but that is the end you want to take and put on your comb. And also, real quick, for a comb, when you put locks on your comb, please don't put it on your lap, or try to hold it and try to do it with one hand, just because it can flip out of your hand. I've tried to do that, and I highly recommend putting it on a flat surface, a sturdy surface when you're loading this. So you just want to take the cut end and go over your rows of tines there, and this is a double tine comb, just like the Hackle. Now you can get these in single or double or triple. I think they even have four row tines, but you can do whichever you want to do. They have several options available. And for VM like that, I mean, I would normally just pick this out because it looks like a piece of straw. But for the purposes of combing, I'm going to show you how to comb it out. But some of these smaller pieces of VM can be pretty hard to get out, and you don't want to have to go through it and pick out every single one, because that, I don't know, I'm not that patient, so that's why I got combs. So these are a great tool to have, especially if you are looking to process wool yourself and know your sheep haven't been coated, like where they have coats on, and you'll pay more for wool like that, but it, in my opinion, it can be worth it, like if you don't have the time or the tools to do this. But if you have the time and you want to process, you can get fleece without being coats on, like have where the sheep have had coats on. So I'm trying to pull my chair here. So this is the interesting part. So with
the wool combs, and you can see the VM right there. When you use this, you're gonna go away from you. So you're not gonna, you're gonna go away from you like this. So you're not gonna wanna like go towards you like this, because if you do and it slips or something, I mean, that's gonna be really painful in your leg or in your stomach, or that's not gonna be a pleasant experience that you'll like. So so what I'm gonna do, and please forgive me because I'm trying to make sure I get this on camera here, but you're gonna take, and I kind of anchor my thumb against it, but you're gonna take your wool comb and you're gonna catch these locks right here, just the tips. So just like this, and away from you, and just comb it out this way. So you can even see some of the stuff that's fallen out of it already that I didn't even see. So but I'm gonna comb, oop, caught too much. Just comb away from you. Come on. A little tangle there or something. Just keep going away from you. And you can get right up close here like this. And then when you don't have any more, like that's not coming off and you just feel like you're combing through it, you can flip it over. I'm gonna put that down so it doesn't just come off, but you can flip it over like that and just go like this. And you can flip it over again. And sometimes it will be stubborn and just not want to come off, and that's okay. So we still have our VM in there, as you can see. And we're just going to take, instead of switching hands and switching all the combs back and forth, you're just going to keep it in here. And you're going to go down like this. Again, with everything pointing away from you. And just try to catch the ends of the fleece or of the locks, and just keep combing. Come on. See, it's starting to get a little poofy. Like, ooh, it's pretty. And then you can flip this too, because we're not coming towards us, you're going down. And you can do that. Again, there's a little bit stuck on there, but that's okay. So I don't know if we knocked our VM out yet, but if you can see the stuff here, there looks like some VM and maybe some stuff from the field where it's kind of knocking out onto the tabletop. So you definitely want to do this either outside, or if you're going to do it inside, just wear an apron or something, or over an area that you vacuum a lot, because stuff is going to fall out of it. I would go outside, but they're remodeling my neighbor's house, so it's pretty loud out there and you would not be able to hear me. So what we just did, going like this and going like this, that was one pass. So you want to do about 10 passes or so till it's really nice and combed and kind of all together. And you just keep combing. See, it's really starting to come together right now, and it looks fluffy. Oh, nope, the VM's still in there. See? It's still in there for right now. We'll get it out. So then we're going to flip that and comb the other way. Oh, it looks like I might have got it. See, it's in the back of the comb there. So these tines, are going to catch your VM, and I'll show you in a little bit once we get more combed out here. Like after a couple more times, you can really start to see everything that it catches. And it's great for second cuts too, because it'll catch your second cuts. So you don't have to worry about that. But now we're just going to kind of go down and catch the edges, and it does get easier. And just from that little bit of wool that we put on, you see how it really flared out. It was like, wow, that's a lot. And that's why I said you don't need a lot to put on. Oh, didn't mean to catch you. Go back over. And if you notice that it gets too close to the bottom here, you can take your thumb at the end and just kind of poof it back up a little bit, or separate it if it needs to be, just to make the combing a little bit easier. So I keep catching the wool. I'm sorry. Go back over there. Trying to keep it over there a little bit. Just making sure everything's on camera. And that you guys can see what I'm doing. So yeah, you can probably see this now, but like, see all the stuff is catching behind here, and the VM, this is catching all the stuff that you really don't want. So it's going to keep it back here, and that's why I got a double tine, is so it'll do that. It'll keep your second cuts back here. It'll keep your VM. It'll basically clean all your locks and your fleece. But so that was 2. Now we're going to do 3. Oh, it's looking so fluffy. Ooh, it's so easy to comb, and it's so much fun. Like after those first couple times, it's like just trying to, like if you've ever tried to comb a toddler's hair, which it's kind of like that. It's like, hold still, I'm not trying to hurt you, but hold still. I'm trying to get this stuff out. You can just kind of keep doing that. See, it does go faster after this first couple times, because you got most of it is straightened out, so you're just gonna comb it. So it's looking so fluffy, like a cloud. Oh my gosh, wow. So beautiful. Oh, see, it looks like there's some VM I didn't even see in there. See that there? I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like some, like a piece of hay or something. So I mean, you'll continue to find stuff no matter how many times you comb it. So that's why I say like 10 passes, because that's a good minimum to have, to make sure you get everything. I mean, there's still stuff falling on the table here. I mean, you won't see it, but it'll come out. So, and I'm going to kind of separate this a little bit and get it from the bottom, just so it can comb nice and through easily. So we're just gonna comb some more. So I think I said 3, so this will be 4. This really is relaxing too, so I love watching these combing videos, because I don't know, it's just relaxing. It's like one of those satisfying videos. But it's because it's relaxing to see somebody do this and see how pretty it comes out and fluffy. And I like to watch people spin too. There's something relaxing and tranquil about and just watching people spin. And that is why I love pictures so much. Like, if you've seen my Facebook posts and things, I'm like, please post pictures, because I love seeing how they turn out, because no matter how hard I try to imagine how a braid is going to look all spun up, I cannot, my imagination is just nothing compared to how they come out. So I'm just like, please show me pictures. Okay, so this is actually a lot of VM in there, so I'm just going to take this off, but you can see that was the one piece I found earlier, and then this is the hay that I found, so we're just going to take that out, and all you do is just kind of slide that off like that, and just be very careful of the points. And then we're not going to use that. You can put it in your garden or your compost or dryer balls if you want to. I necessarily don't use those for dryer balls myself. I usually put that kind of outside. There's really not any part of the wool that you can't use for something. I've even heard of people using those parts for like mulch because it helps keep the moisture in. I'm like, oh, well, that's brilliant. So, and I'm going to try to push that up some because it's getting a little toward the bottom there, a little bit harder to comb. So. I try and comb and comb and comb. Alright, I'm going to take that out too. So I'm just going to take this and see, there's second cuts right there. Like some little tiny pieces that you would not be able to spin, and you don't really want that in your spinning anyways. So you're just going to do this like before and just take it up off, and there. So we are on 5. So the next time when we start going this way, it'll be 6. So I'm gonna comb this. I'll probably speed it up. I don't know yet. So if I don't speed up, you can either skip me combing or you can watch it if you like those satisfying videos like I do, where they do stuff and it's like, oh wow, that is really cool to watch and just relaxing, or whatever you want to do. So I am going to start combing a little bit faster now, since I believe you got the gist of it. So, but after a while, I mean, you just get fast at it. Oop. And this is 6. It's getting really fluffy now. I'm trying to push this up here real quick. It's like super fluff. And oh my gosh, is it so soft. And if you can see the kind of crimp in there, and you can still see the curls where it's got some crimp and some curls, and it's just gorgeous. And there's like a couple different colors, like the tan and the white and the gray. There's even a little bit of black in there. So it's just really gorgeous color. And it's like all blended together. So you can use combs to blend if you really want to. I prefer the Hackle because it's a little bit larger. I mean, if you're gonna blend, go for it and blend big time, but I don't know. To each their own, I guess. I prefer the bigger, because if I'm gonna blend, I really want to blend. And I've seen people with their wool combs just kind of do that, like where they have those setups where it hooks to the table and it keeps it steady, and you can do this. So if you want to do that, you can, or you can even use your Hackle because it's stationary, and you can actually comb with your Hackle too, so you don't need it just for blending. So if you process a lot of wool, or you're looking to, you might want to invest in a Hackle. I mean, you can do combs and you can get a lot, but just gives you a larger area to work across is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Alright, and this will probably actually be the last pass because I don't see any more VM in it, and it is pretty well combed. I mean, we're on past 7 now, so yep. And it'll still catch stuff, so no matter how many times you pass through, it'll still catch stuff. So yeah, I think, I'm gonna look at this real quick, but I think that is pretty well combed. And since we didn't use a whole lot on the comb, like I normally do a little bit more than what I was showing you, but since I was just showing you how to comb, I didn't put quite as much on, but this is looking really fluffy and combed out, and you can kind of tell when everything's combed. It passes so easily, and I'm just kind of looking through here, seeing if there's any more VM that I can see. I'm not seeing any more since we got out so much, even all over the table. I didn't see any more falling out as I was combing, but there's stuff like all, I don't know if you can see that. Let me move this real quick. But there's stuff like all over here, like here and here and here, and like all over here. So yeah, it's ugh. So I'm gonna get this in my wastebasket real quick. So we have a nice clean space for our, well, hang on real quick. Okay, so now that you've got it, and I'm so sorry, I'm trying to put this back through here. Now that you've got it all combed out, you're probably like, okay, well, what do? Do I just take it off? How am I supposed to use this? It is so fluffy. You really want to try and catch the ends here, and how you take it off is very similar to like the Hackle, but you can use the divs for this. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have something stationary to hold your wool comb, because you're gonna be pulling from the wool comb. So you're gonna just kind of grab all the ends here as much as you can, and I give it a little twist and just gently pull like this and draft it, and then go here where it's a little bit thinner, and then do it again. And this was the hand pulling I was talking about earlier, so you can do this from the Hackle too if you don't have a diz. It's not something you absolutely need, but it does make it a little bit more uniform, like I said. So you can pull off here. Just keep going to the thinner parts, and you just pull a little bit and a little bit and just keep gathering it. And just look how fluffy that is. Oh my gosh. I love combing just because it turns out so fluffy, and it's so gorgeous and beautiful. It's so light and airy. I mean, everything you think sheep wool should be. So it's just soft and fluffy, and you just want to cuddle it. So in this part is where it might get a little hard. So if you have more wool on here and it gets to where you can't pull any more off, you take it here and like from pulling out in the middle, if you can't get any more off, pull to the side, and then when that stops, pull out to the middle again, and then when that stops, grab it again and pull out this way, and then when that won't go anymore, stop and pull it out. So you can get a lot of fiber off. See, there's not much left on there, and a lot of that is really short fiber anyways. Like, it catches everything, I'm telling you. I mean, look at that. It catches all kinds of stuff that you would not want in your spinning. So, but yeah, that is how to use wool combs. And then what you do with this, I mean, this is our fluffy, airy, beautiful combed wool. And that's usually why combed top or combed wool is more expensive, or can be anyways, because it is just so, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it's just so beautiful to spin. And it's very little to no VM. So, but you're just going to take this and don't squish it. Don't like squish it around your hand, but you just want to lightly wrap it around your hand. So you can see I'm not like putting pressure on it or anything like that. But that is basically your little ball of fluff that you can spin, and just so fluffy. It's really, really, really soft. But that's how you comb wool, and I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed this video of what is. Bye, have a fantastic day.
If you enjoyed that demonstration, please hit like and subscribe for more. Also, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought and what you would like to see in future What Is videos. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.